It's a raccoon with a talk show slinging culture facts you might not know. From the biggest flops to the greatest hits, this is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hey everyone, I'm Beaton, your trivia-loving raccoon friend, ready to let you in on some more fun weekly Trash Can Tidbits. Last week, I asked the question, what do the initials NCIS stand for? The answer is Naval Criminal Investigative Service. The agency is primarily civilian-run, with half of the personnel being special agents from various government agencies. Just like on the show, the goal of the real agency is to investigate criminal activity involving the Navy, the Marines, and other branches of the military. The series was originally called Navy NCIS, but with the N already standing for Naval, it would have been too redundant. Now, with that address, let's get started with fact number 1. Did you know that the infamous Frankenstein Monster walk with his arms outstretched came about because of a deleted scene? In the movie Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, there was a subplot that was deleted which showed the character of Igor the Hunchback, played by Bela Lugosi, revealing that he transplanted his brain into the monster's body, which was shown at the end of The Ghost of Frankenstein. A side effect of this body switch, however, is that the monster, also played by Lugosi, is now blind. The whole dialogue and plot point was removed from the final film, and the monster has no dialogue, and as a result, it established the monster walk stereotype of his arms outstretched, which has now become synonymous with the character, for better or worse. Fact 2. Did you know that the Scarecrow originally had a dance number that was cut from The Wizard of Oz? The sequence was filmed for the If I Only Had a Brain number, and it had the Scarecrow doing things like being hassled by the crows and bouncing along the fences of the cornfield, which was filmed forwards and backwards. It was directed by legendary movie musical director Busby Berkeley, and perfectly showed off Ray Bolger's Rubberman dancing style. Unfortunately, the sequence was taken out because it was considered to be too long, which really doesn't make any sense. I mean, the Tin Man had a dance sequence too, and that was left in. The full number still survives though, and it is included in the deleted scenes sections of various DVDs. Maybe someday they'll consider putting it in, as it is in good shape. Fact 3. Did you know that 2 actors have posthumously won an Oscar for acting, and both were also Australians? Peter Finch was nominated for Best Actor and won for playing the suicidal news anchor Howard Beale in the film Network. But he died shortly before the ceremony was to take place, making him the first actor to win an Oscar after his death. The second actor to do this was Heath Ledger as the Joker for The Dark Knight. He posthumously won for Best Supporting Actor. Fact 4. Did you know that Marlon Brando attempted to play his Oscar-winning role of Don Corleone for the Godfather video game one last time before he died? Apparently, the team at EA tried to set up recording equipment in his hospice, but unfortunately the voice tracks were deemed too low quality to use. Brando was apparently enthusiastic, but he was dying at the time, and he did in fact die after the game was announced. The Don was primarily voiced by a sound-alike, and very little of Brando's dialogue was used in the final game. One scene where it was used was in the hospital, where the player has to protect the Don and Michael Corleone from the assassins who have come to kill the Don. Fact 5. Did you know that the sampled voice from the Fatboy Slim music track Right Here, Right Now belongs to that of actress Angela Bassett? Bassett has starred in such projects as the Tina Turner biopic What's Love Got to Do with It?, Black Panther, American Horror Story, and currently as Sergeant Athena Grant on 911. The voice sample from the music track was taken from the Catherine Bigelow film Strange Days, specifically the line,
"This is your life! Right here, right now!"
The song has had a recent remix provided by Fatboy Slim himself, using the voice of environmental activist Greta Thunberg, giving Right Here, Right Now an amazing second life. Fact 6. Did you know that there were 2 stage versions of a sequel to the musical Annie? Both of them involve the plot of Daddy Warbucks being given a deadline to find a wife, otherwise he will lose custody of Annie, instead of simply marrying his true love, his assistant Grace Farrell. The first attempt, Annie 2, Miss Hannigan's Revenge, involved the mean orphanage owner escaping from jail to enter a contest Warbucks is holding to find Annie a mother in order to make her life miserable. This version of the sequel opened off-Broadway in 1989 and was universally panned. Several of the songs, though, ended up in a special compilation anniversary album and were performed by none other than Carol Burnett, who played Miss Hannigan in the Annie film from 1981. The second attempt, which was titled Annie Warbucks, was made in 1993, again premiering off-Broadway, and was a much better success. But neither show ended up on Broadway. I think the general consensus is that Annie doesn't need a sequel, and the character's happy endings was totally justified the first time around. Fact 7. Did you know that the character of Sly Cooper came about largely due to the fact that Sucker Punch's previous game had a raccoon as a main character? The company's first game, Rocket Robot on Wheels, had a villain character named Jojo the Raccoon, and the series has quite a few references to that game. In Sly 2, in the game's 5th chapter, A Tangled Web, if you stand on top of a pillar in the crypt and use the binocucom, you'll be able to see Jojo himself hovering above a coffin. You'll also find a gravestone that reads out R.I.P. Rocket, another reference to Sucker Punch's first game. Fact 8. Did you know that The Brave Little Toaster didn't actually receive a theatrical release when it was first made? The plan was to make it a combination of hand-drawn animation and 3D animation, but that plan was scrapped. It was eventually made with traditional hand-drawn animation. The finished film was then bought by Disney and had its first premiere at the Sundance Film Festival. And it was then planned for a theatrical release. However, it was then decided to show the film on the Disney Channel and eventually on home video. But because it wasn't shown in theaters, this is quite possibly the reason no high-definition copy has been released on Blu-ray or Disney Plus to this day. Fact 9. Now this next fact contains minor spoilers for the Monster Hunter movie, but I doubt that will affect you wanting to see it, so here goes. Did you know that the beginning of the Monster Hunter movie is inspired by the beginning of the first Resident Evil game? The first Resident Evil opened with a team of police officers, codenamed Bravo Team, searching for the whereabouts of Alpha Team and getting involved in an attack involving zombies. The Monster Hunter movie opens with a team of soldiers, codenamed Bravo, searching for their missing compatriots of Team Alpha and getting pulled into an alternate dimension where there are giant monsters. Coincidentally, the Resident Evil film franchise and the Monster Hunter movie both star Milla Jovovich. Fact 10. Did you know that the first 2 Spider-Man games for the PlayStation have a fun way to keep things PG in the cheats menu? If you type out a swear word in the cheat menu and then press enter, Spider-Man will pop up and punch the word, changing it to something much more pleasant. The same thing will happen in the second game, Enter Electro. This just goes to show that the game developers had a great sense of humor. Man, those first 2 PlayStation Spider-Man games were so much fun. I should play them again for old time's sake. And here's this week's trivia question. Yul Brynner is, without a doubt, best known for his definitive role in The King and I. His portrayal of the King of Siam has been unequaled, and though many actors have played the part since, nobody has been able to match Brynner's presence. He also had memorable performances in other films such as The Magnificent Seven, The Ten Commandments, and Westworld. It is in The Ten Commandments that Brynner played Pharaoh Ramses II and commanded the screen in each scene he was in. Now there is some question as to which movie came first, The King and I or The Ten Commandments. My question to you is multiple choice. Which of these 2 movies was Yul Brynner's movie debut, The King and I or The Ten Commandments? And there we go for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video and I appreciate you letting me mix things up each time. Stay tuned for more fun surprises, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell for future video notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.